When Black Sheep Squadron first hit American television screens in 1976, few viewers realized that behind its thrilling dogfights and rebellious pilots lay a far darker and more complex truth. Based on the real-life Marine Corps ace Gregory Pappy, Boyington, this wasn't just another war drama. It was a story born from defiance, loss, and the fragile line between heroism and self-destruction. Before the cameras rolled, Boyington had already lived through the kind of tragedy no Hollywood script could fully capture. Born on December 4, 1912, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, he grew up when aviation was still a daring dream. After studying aeronautical engineering at the University of Washington, Boyington joined the Marine Corps, where his defiant nature clashed with authority but made him a fearless pilot. In 1941, before America entered World War II, he joined the Flying Tigers in China, where he learned the brutal truth of aerial combat. When the U.S. entered the war, he returned to command the VMF 214 Squadron, a band of misfit pilots soon known as the Black Sheep. Under Boyington's unpredictable leadership, they became one of the most feared units in the Pacific, with Boyington achieving 28 confirmed kills. But behind the glory, his heavy drinking and reckless lifestyle were taking their toll. Captured by the Japanese in 1944, Boyington spent 20 harrowing months as a prisoner of war before returning home a broken hero. His memoir, Ba Ba Black Sheep, published in 1958, stripped away the glamour of war, revealing the raw truth of survival and regret. When NBC decided to adapt his story in the 1970s, audiences were shifting away from patriotic tales toward ones that humanized their heroes. Producers Stephen J. Cannell and Philip DeGuerre reimagined Boyington's memoir as a semi-fictional drama filled with humor, heart, and rebellion. Robert Conrad was cast as Boyington, a perfect mix of toughness and charisma, but, like the man he portrayed, Conrad carried his own off-screen defiance. The show softened Boyington's darker traits, turning him into a lovable rogue rather than a tormented veteran. While the real VMF 214 was fighting for survival, the TV version became a wild, light-hearted brotherhood. Boyington himself made cameo appearances but called the show Hollywood Hokum, saying they got the name right, but not the truth. Still, Black Sheep Squadron introduced a new generation to his legacy. Children hung model Corsairs from their ceilings, and veterans saw reflections of their own camaraderie in the show's laughter and chaos. Behind the scenes, production was as turbulent as the story it told. Budget cuts forced the team to repurpose planes from old films, and Conrad ran the set with military precision, demanding, strict, but deeply respected. Tragedy struck when Red West, who played Sergeant Micklin, learned of Elvis Presley's death during filming. Even the show's mascot, Meatball the Bull Terrier, became a small legend. Through its ups and downs, the show carried a raw energy that reflected both Boyington's fire and Conrad's drive. Though Black Sheep Squadron ended in 1978, its legacy endured. Boyington passed away in 1988, buried with full military honors at Arlington, and Conrad followed in 2020. Both men, separated by decades yet bound by defiance, became symbols of flawed but enduring strength. Meanwhile, the real VMF 214 Squadron lived on, evolving from Corsairs to today's F-35B Lightning II jets. For many fans, revisiting the series feels like hearing a distant engine fade into the clouds, a haunting reminder of imperfect heroes who dared to fly against the wind. The show didn't glorify war, it revealed its absurdity, showing men who laughed to keep from breaking. Decades later, Black Sheep Squadron remains more than a war drama. It's a story about brotherhood, redemption, and survival. It reminds us that legends aren't born from perfection, but from persistence. Every rerun, every salute at an air show, and every fan who still hums that iconic theme keeps the Black Sheep spirit alive. So, what part of the Black Sheep Squadron story moved you most? The real-life courage of Gregory "Pappy" Boyington, the behind-the-scenes drama, or the lasting legacy of VMF Tudhwatrahirn? 214. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more untold stories from television history.